chat box and say, yes, following you. Let me know if you are following me. Just type in the chat box and type, yes, I am with you. Yes, I am following you. I am hearing you loud and clear. If you are seeing my screen, let me know if you are seeing the screen. Just type in the chat box and say, yes, I can see your screen. You can carry on. I am with you 100%. Let me know who is following me. All right. Thank you very much. Olajumoke, I can see you. I can see your message. Infinix Art, thank you. Timothy, thank you. Aderayo, very good. Okay, thank you very much. So follow closely. You may need to get a pen because I'm going to be dropping some important things, or maybe you want to take a snapshot, whichever one you find convenient. It's okay. So why is IELTS CBT better? This is a question that some people have asked me recently. There's one particular person that asked me and said, do you prefer CBT? Do you think CBT is better? And I said yes. I didn't even think twice. I told the person yes. And CBT, I prefer CBT to paper-based personally. Number one, I took the CBT test and it was easier. It was easier. That was like the first time I was going to do a CBT test in my life. And compared to what the paper-based test I've done, I think I still prefer CBT 100%. Okay, that's number one. Number two is from the experiences of the students I've taught. Okay, what I've noticed is this: majority of the students that I've taught that took IELTS CBT, majority of them have scored band 7.0 and above. Majority of them have scored band 7.0 and above. And all the band 9 results I've gotten, students that have gotten band 9 in IELTS, all of them, if not, or let's say maybe almost all of them took CBT IELTS. Almost all of them took CBT IELTS. So there is something about CBT that, I mean, if you relax your mind, you see, the problem is this: if you are afraid, there's already a problem. Whether you're doing paper-based or CBT, fear is not a friend. Fear is not going to be your friend. Okay? So you need to get rid of that fear. If you can get rid of the fear and relax your mind and prepare adequately for this test, CBT will actually turn out to be your friend. Okay? It's going to turn out to your advantage. So, number one thing that you're going to notice is that what? With CBT, the risk of malpractices is reduced. Okay? For test centers, it will be more difficult for people to cheat in test centers. So, if you are the type of student that doesn't really fancy malpractices in the exam hall, then you're going to like this kind of thing. But if you are the type of person that wants malpractice, because I know some people are like that. Some people have asked me a question that, can I get somebody to help them do the test? Those are people that want malpractice. It's actually more difficult for somebody else to do your CBT test with you than paper-based. It's more difficult. So for exam bodies like IDP and British Council, this is good for them because they don't want malpractices. For the owners of IELTS, this is good for them. And for students that really want to be sure that, okay, they are getting, I mean, the outcome of their own work, then you have a good chance, okay, with CBT. So there's reduced risk of exam malpractices with IELTS CBT. The second thing is that it is easier to correct errors and mistakes when it comes to IELTS CBT. So for IELTS CBT, what happens is that when you are typing something now, you can easily delete whatever it is that you have written. If there's a mistake, you can easily delete the thing and continue what you're writing. But if it is paper-based, you're going to need to look for paper, what's it called? You're going to need to look for eraser to be, cleaning what you have written. Just imagine the time it will take for you to use eraser to clean what you have written with pencil. Okay? Or you are going to probably, if you are using Biro, you probably use Biro to cancel and shade or something. That will take extra time. But with computer, you just highlight the thing and you delete. That's it. So correcting your mistakes is easier. It helps your work to stay, it keeps your work neater. Your writing will remain neat. You understand? So it's easier to correct errors and mistakes. I want you to imagine somebody writing an essay now. And then the person writes paragraph 1, and then paragraph 2, and then paragraph 3, and then realizes that everything that he wrote in paragraph 2 does not really fit in very well. And then he wants to change everything in paragraph 2. If it is paper-based, that's going to be a very, very big problem if it's paper-based. But if it's computer-based, you just highlight everything in paragraph 2 and delete it. Piam, that's all. And then you start writing paragraph 2 afresh. So it's easier. It's easier. Okay? Number 3 is that what? You get your results quickly, within 3 to 5 days. As a matter of fact, it can even be faster. I know somebody that did his IELTS test recently. The guy did his IELTS test in April. I think it was on April 20. Was it 27 now? I think he took his IELTS test April 28. I think it was 28 or 26. They did that exam 26, April 26. And he saw his result on Sunday night. April 26 is Saturday. He saw his result on Sunday night, Sunday, the following day. So you get your results quickly. So if you are the type of person that needs to get the results quickly, I've seen cases like that where people need to do the result. Some people need to take the test as a matter of urgency, and you need the results urgently. It's this CBT is to your benefit. You don't need to wait for 13 days or 14 days to see your results. Okay. Another thing, let me say this again. This is by the way. It's just coming to my mind now. Sometimes they withhold results for paper-based tests. Sometimes. I've heard of that 3 or 4 times. But I've never heard of a situation where they withheld computer-based test results. I've not heard of it. I've not heard of it. Okay? Somebody says, why do they withhold results? It's because they suspect foul play. So generally, if the suspect that foul play happened in a center, or maybe a particular candidate was involved in malpractice, it's just suspicion. It might not have happened. That's the unfortunate thing. The person affected might not have been involved in anything, but then they will just withhold the person's result. And usually they will not give you explanation. They will not give you the reason. You just will not see your result. Or sometimes they will just send a mail and say your result is still being processed. And that's what you'll be seeing until until forever. So, but that kind of thing, I've not heard of it happening for CBT IELTS. It hardly happens. I've not heard of it. So I can as well say it can never happen. Okay, but let's say it hardly happens. Okay, number 4 point is that what? Marking errors are minimal. When it comes to CBT, okay, marking errors are minimal. Because you are typing things out, whatever you have written can be clearly seen. Unlike if you are writing out on paper, some people have different handwritings. So if your handwriting is not very legible, the examiner marking your script might have some difficulty figuring out what you wrote. And he might interpret some words as spelling errors, and you might lose marks. So that's what we call marking errors. Okay? Human error when it comes to marking papers. But for computer-based tests, that kind of mistake cannot happen. Whatever you have typed out is clear to everyone to see. Even a child can see that this is what you have written. You understand? So marking errors are minimal with what? With computer-based tests. That's another benefit. Another benefit is that you can retake one module. So if you do computer-based tests now, for example, somebody sent me a result today. The person had 8.5 in listening, I think 8.0 in writing, 7.5 in speaking, and they now had 5.5 in reading. 5.5 in reading. Unfortunately, that result was a paper-based test result. I told her that you cannot do one skill retake. One skill retake. One skill retake means that, assuming that result was computer-based, that person will just go and enroll for IELTS reading only. He will just retake only IELTS reading. Okay, so this one skill retake is only available for computer-based tests. Okay, it's only available for what? For computer-based tests. So if you don't do well in a particular module or you're not satisfied with the score, you can retake it, and then they would update your results with the outcome of that particular one skill retake that you took. So that's another benefit. And then another benefit is that everything will be done in one day. Listening, reading, writing, and speaking, everything will be done in one day. When I took my test in the morning, we did listening, reading, and writing. We did it I think between 9 a.m. and 12 or 9 a.m. and 11:30 or thereabout. And then after that, they took us to one room like that, and then we waited to be called into the exam hall with the examiner. So around 1 o'clock, I went in for my speaking, and 1:30, I was through with everything, and I went back to my house. So you do everything in one day. Unlike paper-based that you do listening, reading, and writing on Saturday, and then you do the remaining maybe on Thursday or Tuesday before that Saturday, or sometimes even the following week. Okay, for somebody that is traveling, that person will probably travel twice, or the person will book hotel for 2 or 3 days. For CBT, that is not necessary. For CBT, you go to the exam hall and then you do everything on that very day. That's another reason why CBT is better. So these are just some of the reasons that I was able to come up with. I'm sure there are many more reasons. Because you notice that I mentioned some things that are not on this slide. So it's really to our benefits. This new CBT IELTS format, this CBT format is to everybody's benefit. Now, truth be told, there are some challenges associated with taking the CBT test. But there are no challenges that cannot be dealt with. All challenges can be dealt with. The fact that there's a challenge with CBT IELTS does not mean that you should not take the IELTS test. Okay? By the way, let me say this. Paper-based IELTS is still available outside Nigeria. Okay? For example, in the UK, paper-based IELTS is available. That one I'm sure of. I have some students that are taking IELTS in the UK, and the person is doing CBT. The person is doing paper-based IELTS. Okay, so I'm sure of that. It's very likely that paper-based IELTS is still available in places like Saudi Arabia, UAE, Middle Eastern countries, probably some places in Africa too. Most likely Ghana is still doing paper-based. Okay, most likely. I've not checked the website to confirm that, but paper-based is available in other countries. So if you are insistent on paper-based, you may need to travel out of Nigeria to go and do it. Okay, that's extra cost for you. So why not just calm down and prepare well for your computer-based and do it and get over with it once and for all. So that's just by the way. Now, challenges do show up, but challenges can be dealt with. Okay, one of the challenges that some people have mentioned, not like they experienced it though. These are things that people ask me. Some people have asked me that, what if there's network problem? And the answer I give them is that what? All my students that have done CBT IELTS, no one has ever mentioned that there was network problem. It has never happened. You understand? It has never happened. Somebody will say, okay, what if the computer shuts down when I'm doing the thing? If the computer shuts down, the invigilators come and switch it on again, and then you continue from where you stopped. Or they will give you another computer and then you start afresh. That one is not a difficult thing. But it's not likely that computer will shut down when you are doing your work. Because these test centers have been vetted, they have been tested, and they always, do quality checks on what they do. So issues of network and computer problems, keyboard not working, computer shutting down, all those things are not likely to happen. The chances that they will happen is close to zero. So network glitch is not an issue. That one is out of the way. Okay? That one is out of the way. Number two is that some people will say that, it will be difficult for me to be listening, especially for IELTS listening. I'll be listening and I'll be typing. Well, that is a valid point, especially if you are not a fast typer. So what is the solution to that problem? The solution is to practice with computer. Practice IELTS listening with computer. Practice IELTS listening with computer. Okay? You go to the site that contains IELTS listening questions. There's a particular site I always like using to practice IELTS listening. I'm going to share. Let me share the site with you guys. Let me just show you what I'm trying to say. Let me share my screen with you. I'll take you to the browser so that you will see what I'm talking about. Practice with computer. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to share my entire screen with you. So this is the site, IELTS practice. IELTS training online.com. This is the website I usually use to practice IELTS listening. Okay, so I just go to IELTS listening. So you can see listening on the site, and then I pick Cambridge practice. Okay, Cambridge practice. And then let's say I want to practice Cambridge IELTS 19 test 1. So it gives me, this is the page. Let me try and magnify this so that it's going to be bigger. All right, I guess it's bigger now. So this is the page. So what I'll just do is that I will play the audio.
Part 1. You will hear a teaching
You can hear the audio talking.
a country park about a school visit.
Can you guys hear the audio? Let me know if you are hearing the audio.
Questions 1 to 6.
All right, you can hear the audio. Very good. So I just listened to the audio, okay? And then as I'm listening to the audio, I'll now be typing my answers. Let me show you. I use something on my computer called sticky notes. So there's an app if you are using a Windows computer. I'm sure what's it called? I'm sure that MacBook has a similar version. So I use something called sticky notes. Let me share my entire screen so that you will see what I'm calling sticky notes. So this is my entire screen I'm sharing now. You can see the yellowish stuff. So this is where I'm going to be typing my answer. Okay. So let's say I want to answer this question now. Okay. Look at it. Let me play the audio.
What would you like to know? Well,
So let me rewind. The audio will start anytime soon. So I will have written all my numbers 2, 3, 4. Okay. What would you like to know? Okay.
Tell me something about the park first, please. Of course. Altogether, the park covers 170 acres.
170.
69 hectares.
Can you see? It didn't take me long to type 170. The woman said 170 hectares. And I quickly typed my word. My 170. It didn't take me 3 hours to type 170. Let me continue. Listen.
3 main types of habitat.
3 types of habitats: wetland, grassland, and woodland.
The woods are well established.
Okay.
With an oak plantation and other areas of mixed species.
Okay.
Right. The wetland is quite varied too.
Wetland now.
The original farmland was dug up around 40 years ago to extract gravel.
Okay.
Once this work was completed, the gravel pits filled with water, forming the 2 large lakes. There are also several smaller ones, ponds. And a stream. That flows through the park.
That's the next question. Stream. So you see, I typed my stream quickly. So it didn't take me long to type the stream. Assuming I'm even slow, the time you can see that the person will still talk about wildlife. He will still talk about subject study before he now gets to question 3. So you actually have enough time to type whatever it is you want to type. So the issue of why they are talking, I'm typing, I won't be able to get all the answers. It's not really a strong thing. You just need to practice. You need to practice. So you practice with sticky notes. So you put your sticky note on one side, you put your browser on the other side. And as you are listening, you are doing what? You are typing your word. You are typing your answers on the word, on the sticky notes. That's one thing you can use. You can also use Notepad. There's another app that you will find on most Windows system. It's called Notepad. Okay. Somebody says, what of Microsoft Word? I won't advise you to use Microsoft Word, because Microsoft Word, if you make a spelling mistake, Microsoft Word will underline it and you will quickly see it. But you are not going to get that opportunity on the exam day. So it's better to use Notepad or sticky note, because that one, if you make any spelling mistake, the app will not underline it. So you're going to have to look at all your words afresh and make sure that there are no spelling mistakes. That's why I recommend either sticky notes or what's it called? or notepad. Hope you get my point. I hope you guys are still following me. Let me know if you are still following me. If you are still following me, let me see your message in the chat box. Just type in the chat box, yes, I am with you. Yes, I am with you. I need to move fast. Let me know you're still with me. Yes, I am with you. We're going to bring up our IELTS crusher very soon. He's going to share his experience with us. Okay, very good. I can see your message. Okay. Now, slow typing speed. What is the solution? Practice. Just like I've done with this listening I just did now. Practice typing your essays on computer. So if you see an essay question, you get an essay question that you want to practice with, don't bother trying to write on paper. Somebody asked me one day that, can't I first of all write my answers on paper and then I will transfer it to the computer? That is a complete waste of time. Even if you had 2 hours for IELTS writing, writing on paper and then transfer it to computer is a complete waste of time. Type your answer straight into the computer. Practice doing that now. Start practicing now. Okay? Somebody is saying, so there's no paper-based exam again. Yes, there's no paper-based exam. In Nigeria, there's nothing like paper-based exam again. Forget it. It's not going to come back. That's just the fact. There's nothing like paper-based in Nigeria again. Okay, so what is the solution to slow typing speed? The solution is to what? Is to practice writing on computer. Practice your IELTS writing on computer. Practice your IELTS reading on computer. Practice your IELTS listening on computer. The more you practice, the faster you get. If you want to practice your IELTS reading and your IELTS writing on computer, set your phone timer. Set it for 30 minutes. And try and write your essay in 30 minutes. If it's a letter you want to practice, set your phone timer for 15 minutes. Try and write your letter in 15 minutes. When you do that over and over and over, your speed will improve. That's just it. That's a challenge that can be dealt with. Okay? Another problem is eye strain. Some people talk about getting eye strain whenever they are looking at the computer for long. Okay? So the solution to that is to what? Adjust the brightness of the computer screen. If you reduce the brightness of the computer screen, high strain problem will not affect you. As a matter of fact, for majority of the computers that you will use on the exam day, many of them have filters on the screen that filters out the rays that can cause eye strain and headache or high fatigue. Okay, so that's not going to be a major issue on the exam day. Okay, but then you can always adjust the brightness of your computer screen. So if you get to the exam hall and then they show you the computer, one of the first things you can check is, okay, how do I adjust the brightness? If you can't figure it out, ask the invigilators. They're going to show you how to adjust the brightness, how to reduce the brightness or increase the brightness to your own level. Okay. Then unfamiliar interface, you need to get familiar with common IELTS CBT website. I'm going to share some websites with you, okay, that you can practice with. Those websites have interfaces that are similar to what you will see on the exam day, okay, what you see on the exam day. So you can practice with them to get familiar with what the IELTS CBT platform will look like on the exam day, okay? And then the other challenge is that limited test locations are available in Nigeria. In Nigeria now, CBT is available in just maybe 5 or 6 cities. Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, Benin, Edo, Benin City, Kano, Ibadan. Okay, I think I'm not sure I've mentioned Ibadan, so that makes it 6. Just 6 places for now. We are hoping that other places like Akure will come up soon. Enugu should come up soon. There used to be a center in Enugu, but the center shut down because of some logistic issues. Okay, I think there's a center in Owerri too. Owerri. They call it Owerri. Owerri. Anyhow, Imo State. So centers are limited for computer-based tests. Okay, so if you don't have a computer-based test center in your city, then you need to prepare and plan to travel. Okay, prepare and plan to travel. So all these challenges are challenges that can be dealt with. How do I increase my chances of success? That's the next question. 3 things. Number 1 is to get trained. Attend training, proper training. Join our training classes, training sessions, and get drilled. We're going to drill you. You're going to learn the strategies and techniques that our students use, that we train our students to use. So get trained. That's number 1. Number 2, practice. If you notice, I've used this word a lot in today's lesson. Practice. And number 3, after every practice, do what I call self-correction. Self-correction means that what? You learn from your mistakes. You learn from your mistakes and you improve. Self-correction. Some of these CBT websites where you practice IELTS reading, they will even help you with correction. They will show you where the correct answer should be, and they will show you why that is the correct answer. That's another good thing about CBT, all these CBT websites. Okay? Look at this. Let me show you the sites. Let me show you the links. Look at this site here. I want you to just take a snapshot of this page. Okay? The other alternative is I'm going to copy it now, and I'm going to paste it inside the Zoom chat. I'm going to paste it inside the Zoom chat. Don't ask me to paste it in the WhatsApp group. I'm not going to paste it in the WhatsApp group. This is going to be for people that joined this class. If those that did not join this class will not see these links. So I'm going to paste it in the Zoom chat now. And then you can just copy it for yourself and send it to your own WhatsApp. I've pasted it inside the Zoom chat. If you have seen it, let me see your message. I've sent the links. I've sent the, what's it called? The links to those sites to the Zoom chats. If you have seen it, if you have seen the links, I want you to type in the message. I want you to type a message in the Zoom chat and say, yes, I have seen it. Thank you. I can see it. Timothy said he has seen it. Who else has seen it? All right. Lawrence. Lawrence. Chinemerem. Very good. Very good. So just send it, copy it now and send it to your word. Send it to your WhatsApp and just keep it there. You can pick any of them. My favorite is link 3. Link 3, I think you have about 6 or 7 free practices on link 3. Link 2 is also good. Link 2 has about 10 to 11 free practices. After that, you will pay. Mini IELTS has plenty of free practices. Plenty, about 500 mini IELTS. But the problem with mini IELTS is that there are some mistakes with some of their answers. Maybe 1 or 2 answers. You might see some mistakes. For example, maybe if the answer to a question is freestyle, let me type what I mean to you. Mini IELTS, maybe your answer to a question is freestyle. Let's assume that this is the answer to the question. In the computer, on that website, they will write this as the answer, freestyle. As far as IELTS is concerned, these 2 answers are correct. Okay? But, I mean, these are minimal mistakes. Or maybe sometimes you will see something like this. School. Okay, let's assume that you write this as your answer. But then many IELTS will say the answer is this, school. They will not capitalize the S. For IELTS, most likely they will overlook this. Okay? So that's the issue with mini IELTS. But then mini IELTS has lots of free practices that you can work with. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, do not be afraid of IELTS CBT. Okay? Relax your mind, get trained, and practice very well before your exam day. The more you practice, the more confident you will get with your IELTS test. Okay? So, I'm going to pause on that note.